Hello everyone, today we're going to solve the domain to integer problem. This problem gives us a domain number and all we need to do is to convert it to a decimal integer number. So we can see that this is the table to convert it. For example, if we have I is going to be equal to 1, b going to be equal to 5 and so on. But the thing is in the Roman numbers, it has something like this, which means that if we have IV, this number gonna be equal to 4 because we need to uh, calculate this one by get the second one minus with the previous one. So which means that we have 5 subtract it to 4 and the principle apply to night and so on. For example, if we have IV, which means that we're gonna have 4 and Ix gonna be equal to 9 and so on. XL gonna be equal to 40 and XC gonna be equal to 90. So if we have a look on the principle of this number, we can see that if, for example, we consider this number, right? If we have this number, we're gonna consider this character and the following character. For example, we're gonna consider the domain number 8 and the next one. Let's say we're gonna map it to our decimal form, like a decimal mapping something from SI. We're gonna consider these two number as I plus 1. We're gonna have two cases. For example, for the first case, we have I equal to M, and the next one gonna be equal to C, and M gonna be equal to 1000, and C gonna be equal to 100. So if we have this one is greater than the next one, we're gonna just plus with 1000 instead. And let's continue with the second one. We have C is the current number and M is the following number. So look at the principle. We can see that if C is sitting in front of M, which means that we're gonna calculate by 900 instead of 1100. So what we consider right here is that if we have the next character is greater than our current character, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna plus with the next one minus with the previous one. So which means that we're gonna have 1000 minus with 100 right here. And instead of just skip this character, we're gonna skip both these two characters. So in the next iterator, I should be equal to this position. I should sit right here. And then we continue to consider X is 10th. And the next one is C, which is 100. So which means that this condition is satisfied again. So we're gonna have to plus with 100 minus with 10 instead of just sum them up. And we're gonna skip these two characters and we're gonna jump it to this position. For this one, we're gonna have I equal to 1 and c equal to b equal to 5. So this condition is satisfied again, which means that we have to obey this principle again. So we're gonna have the next number gonna be equal to 5 minus 1, and the final value for our current domain number is, this one is 1000, this one is 900, this one is 90, and this one is 4. So we have 1994 for the final answer. And let's jump into the coding part. First of all, we need to map the domain character to the integer format. So let's have this take our code, right? And what we're gonna do is that we're gonna have to have a key value data structure to store this table. So I'm gonna use the another map integer, and instead of using integer, I'm gonna just use the character instead. For this one, I'm gonna use integer. But in C++, actually, you can just use integer for this one as well. It just they gonna map the character to the ASCII table value of the character, which means that we can use integer instead of character. So we're gonna have domain to decimal mapping, and we have I equal to 1, so on. B equal to 5. Just like that. I'll just leave it here, and we're gonna finish this one later. And first of all, we start from the first character, and then we're gonna look through all of the character in our string, and we're gonna consider if our domain decimal mapping of si is less than our next following character. Next letter I plus 1. Oops. We're gonna have the current decimal integer plus with the next character, and minus with the current character, but we need to map it from the main form to our decimal form. Perfect. And if we don't have this condition, which means that we just need to sum all the character up. Nothing fancy here, we just have each of the character, sum them up. In this case, we're gonna increase I by 1, and in this case, we're gonna increase I by 2. And then finally, we're gonna return the current decimal integer value. This number. And for the time complexity, we're gonna have the time complexity equal to O of n, with n is the length of s. And for the space complexity, we don't use any additional right here, So which means that the space complexity should be constant. The space complexity should be equal to 1. And the topic for this one is string and hash map. Need to finish this table as well. We have the x is 10. Sorry, I'm not familiar with this domain number. So this one is, C is 100 and D is 500. Finally, M equal to 1000. So we have here is map mapping is this one. Use the X error here. Perfect. All right. That's all for this question, and thank you very much for watching this. If you like my video, please smash the like and subscribe button so that all the people can see my video and they can solve this problem as well. Thank you very much.